So hi everyone, I'm Angelique Raptakis, RYT-200, RYT-500. Thank you for joining us today for this restorative practice. I have with us here Brenda Norris, who's a fellow yoga teacher, and you can find some of her videos on this channel as well. But we're here for this grounding restorative practice, which we can use at any time that we may feel a little bit stressed or even just tired at the end of the day, or any time that we want to reconnect to the space of the body, reconnect into our breath, and even reconnect to the earth for this grounding, relaxing energy. Getting out of our heads and bringing that energy downwards. So if you we're going to be using some props today, and we'll be using 2 blankets. So you can use, if you have these Mexican yoga blankets or any type of blankets will really work. We can be using 1 or 2 blocks, and if you don't have a cork block or a foam block, maybe getting some stacked books could help, or we'll really only be using this for a couple poses, so maybe even an extra blanket or 2, and you could use just any type of blanket, even your comforter from your bed. And we have also a bolster. So a bolster can also be replaced by a blanket that's rolled up. It can be replaced by cushions or pillows, maybe couch cushions or the pillow from your bed. So they don't have to look just like these props look. Use whatever you have that is available to you. So we're going to begin, and we'll start just by coming to find our comfortable seat. And maybe you're sitting up on a cushion as I am, or maybe up on a blanket like Brenda's going to come to right now. And whatever allows you to find this space of ease and rest here that allows you to be comfortable. Maybe the knees are to the height of the hips or lower. And if you find that the knees are lifting up, just come to sit on maybe an extra blanket or an extra cushion, allowing you to find that easiness through the space of the hips. And allowing the hands to rest comfortably wherever they are. Maybe they're on the knees or in the lap. And just taking a few breaths here to really tune into the body. Noticing just what it feels like to be here in this moment, to be here in your body. Noticing that you are breathing. Maybe you notice the movement of breath. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. And if you feel that movement of breath in the space of the belly or in the space of the chest, or maybe in both, or it could be possible that you don't really feel that movement of breath. We'll begin to bring our hands into a mudra, into a gesture. So we'll take our hands and find this softness in the hands, allowing them to create these cups. So we'll bring the left hand palm face up, pinky side towards the belly, allowing that pinky to rest against the belly about 4 inches below the navel. And then we'll take the right hand, bringing the palm face down, so thumb side resting on the belly and about 4 inches above the navel. Here in Pala Mudra, allowing for this softness in the hands, softness in the arms. And allowing the breath to be natural here, finding its natural rhythm. Just noticing your in-breath and your out-breath. Beginning to tune into the sensations that are evoked here in this mudra of Pala Mudra, the gesture of the alms bowl. As you breathe here, maybe noticing this downward energy of the breath moving into the space of the abdomen. Noticing if energy is moving from the space of the head and the mind and the thoughts, and allowing that to settle downwards, reconnecting to the earth. Time as you're ready, we'll release this gesture and we'll come into our first restorative pose. So we're going to take one of our blankets and we'll create this fold by maybe opening it up twice here, and then we'll create this fold by folding it 1/3 of the way and then bringing it folded one more time. And we'll take this and place this on the mat. So this will be underneath the shoulder blades, so depending on which way you want to lay on the mat. And we'll bring the second blanket to be underneath, supporting the head, so there'll be space in between. So if Brenda, you'd like to move up a little bit more, so our actual shoulders will roll off of the blanket, and then we can bring our bolster underneath the knees here. So if you want to bring a bend to the knees, and then allowing for that release and softening here. If you have an eye pillow, you're welcome to bring that over the space of the eyes. And allowing yourself to settle in here into this pose of Mountain Brook. Bringing awareness back to the breath. Noticing the movement of breath. Noticing the in-breath. Noticing the out-breath. With each in-breath, feeling that expansiveness through the chest. And with each out-breath, releasing into the support of your props. Maybe you tune into the sensations that you feel here in the body, noticing the softness of the blankets, maybe the gentle curves and roundness of the bolster. Noticing these places that the body is making contact with either the earth or your props. Beginning to allow for a release into those spaces. So as we rest here in poses, we want to feel fully and completely supported. So if at any time you feel like you need to make an adjustment, knowing that you can find that gentle movement to bring yourself into a space of more ease. So if you notice that maybe the arms don't feel as comfortable here with arms stretched out, maybe you want to bring them up overhead or draw them more to the sides or rest them on the belly, knowing that you can make these adjustments throughout your practice. listening and honoring your body, your breath, and where you are in this moment. Slowly begin to deepen the breath here. As we move through our practice, we'll move with the breath. So on your next inhale, beginning to bring a bend to the knees, and maybe the feet come to rest on the mat or on your bolster or rolled blanket, whatever it is that you have supporting underneath the knees and legs. And taking a few breaths here. And then we'll release to one side, whichever side feels more comfortable. And take a moment here on your side just to notice the effects of the pose. As we continue to move slowly and mindfully, we'll allow the palms of the hands to come to the earth, and then use the inhale to slowly press yourself upright. And from here we'll move into supported or reclined supine down angle pose. So we'll bring the bolster to the front of the mat here, and moving the other blankets off to the side. We'll take one block and place it on the mat, and then bring the bolster here to an angle. And we can take our other blankets and maybe we open them up into a square like this and just create this roll here. You can do that with both blankets as we fold them into maybe a square first, or you can just create that roll. And then we'll come to bring, I'm going to do it the other way. So we're going to bring our hips right up against the bolster. It's okay. And if you want to bring the hips all the way up so that there's no space between. And then the feet come together, knees draw wide, and then we'll place these blankets underneath the knees and the outer thighs for support. So you can bring hands back alongside the hips or hold on to the side of the bolster. Use the inhale to lift and lengthen through the spine. And exhale, slowly recline back, feeling into that support here. If you would like an extra blanket or a pillow or cushion, you can bring that underneath the head for a little extra support. As we are allowing this pose to be more of an opening across the chest. And we want that neck and head to feel supported so it doesn't feel like it's resting way back. Allowing the arms to rest out to the sides. If it's more comfortable, they can come rest onto the belly. And breathe here. Awareness and attention back to the space of the breath. Noticing again your in-breath and your out-breath. With each in-breath, feeling that expansiveness in the belly, in the chest. And with each out-breath, releasing into the support of your props. Support of the earth. Maybe you notice a gentle opening across the fronts of the shoulders, across the top of the chest. Maybe even feeling those collarbones moving away from each other. Feeling grounded through the hips. Grounded through the feet as the soles of the feet press into each other. Closing that connection of energy through the body, that circuit of energy that travels through the body. If you find the mind wandering here, as it naturally wants to do, bringing awareness back to the space of your breath, noticing the in-breath, noticing the out-breath. Can even begin to introduce a mantra here, or this meditation as you move with breath. And say, aware of my eyes, I breathe in. Smiling to my eyes, I breathe out. Aware of my eyes, I breathe in. Smiling to my eyes, I breathe out. Aware of my ears, I breathe in. Smiling to my ears, I breathe out. Aware of my mouth, I breathe in. Aware of my mouth, I breathe out. Smiling to my hands, I breathe in. Smiling to my hands, I breathe out. mind begins to wander again, with gentle and loving kindness, bring awareness back to the breath, to the in-breath, and to the out-breath. We'll slowly begin to deepen the breath, drawing the hands to the outer thighs or to the knees, using the strength of the arms on the inhale to scoop the knees together. Maybe pausing here for a round or two of breath. And then as you're ready, releasing to one side, whichever side is most comfortable, coming off of the bolster, maybe making a pillow for your head with your arms. Do you rest here in the effects of the pose? And in your time, when you're ready, hands come back to the earth as you press into the palms of the hands to lift and rise up. And we'll come into a supported twist here. So bringing your, starting with your, you can start here with your left hip or right hip, whichever one you want to do. I usually suggest starting with the right hip. And if this is too much, or if you want to have an increased angle here to the pose, you can bring 2 blocks, or as Brenda did, remove 1 block and bring the bolster all the way down to the mat. So with the right hip up against the earth, right up against the bolster, we'll bring our legs into this VW shape here. And if this is really intense here, you can even bring the knees to stack. Maybe you bring a bolster, the blanket between the knees or even underneath the ankles for support here. And with the hip right up against the bolster, we're going to lift up tall on the inhale. And exhale, twist so that you're facing towards the bolster, and then keep that length through the spine and crown of the head as you lower all the way down. Arms come to rest at the sides. You can always bring an extra blanket or cushion underneath the head for support here. Or bringing, again, that extra blanket for support in the knees and the ankles and the feet. Bringing awareness back to the breath, to the in-breath and out-breath. With each inhale, feeling again that expansion, maybe filling the back body. And with the exhale, releasing into the bolster. Feeling grounded and supported. Allowing a surrender and release into this shape, into this pose. We allow ourselves to find this quiet stillness, this mindful space and connection here to our breath, mindful connection to our body. I'd like to read to you this passage from Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a Buddhist monk. And this is from his book, The Heart of the Buddha's Teaching. He said, "There is tremendous suffering all over the world, but knowing this need not paralyze us. If we practice mindful breathing, mindful walking, mindful sitting, and working in mindfulness, we try our best to help, and we can have peace in our heart. Worrying does not accomplish anything. Even if you worry 20 times more, it will not change the situation of the world. In fact, your anxiety will only make things worse. Even though things are not as we would like, we can still be content, knowing we are trying our best and will continue to do so. If we don't know how to breathe, smile, and live every moment of our life deeply, we will never be able to help anyone." We'll begin to invite the breath to deepen here. And in your time, when you're ready, we'll draw the hands back underneath the shoulders, using the inhale to press into the earth to lift and rise up. And here we'll come to take a gentle counter twist over to the other side. So Brenda will bring her hand to her left knee and just find this gentle stretch. And then then use the inhale to come back through center. And we'll switch sides here. So now her left hip will come up to the bolster, and finding again that position of the legs that works for you. Maybe it's that W shape. Maybe the foot comes to the inner leg, or it's more of stacked knees here, seeing what works for you. And bringing whatever support, maybe that blanket comes between the shins or underneath the feet and the ankles. And then once you find that comfort, we'll lift up tall through the spine and twist over towards the bolster, keeping that length. Exhale and lower down. Offering that support to the torso, support to the head. Arms rest comfortably at the sides. Releasing here into this twist, coming right back to a place of rest and surrender. Back to the space of your breath. To the in-breath and the out-breath. Feeling each in-breath expanding the back of the body. And with each out-breath, releasing into the support of your props, the bolster, the mat, the earth. Mind begins to wander again, or tell you stories about the past or the future. Gentle and loving kindness bring awareness back to the breath, back to the in-breath and to the out-breath. just surrender here to this moment. Surrendering here to stillness. Begin to deepen the breath as we draw hands back underneath the shoulders. And using the inhale to press into the earth to lift and rise up. And here we'll come into a gentle twist to the other side. Just breathing here for a moment. And then as you're ready, releasing back through center. And we'll bring ourselves into Stonehenge pose. So here we'll bring our blocks, creating this Stonehenge here on our mat. And depending on the height of your, the length here of your thigh bones will depend on the height here of the blocks. So maybe they come to the highest height, and then we'll bring the bolster to come across. If you're really tall, this may work, or if you're shorter here through the thigh bone, you can always bring this to a lower height and then bring the bolster back on top, or your whatever's offering that support. So we'll start here and see how this works. And if you don't have the blocks or bolster, you can always come to this pose up against the couch. So you can use the couch or a chair as the support for underneath your legs. So we'll bring the hips right up against, towards the bolster here. And if you want extra support, we can always bring a blanket underneath the back here or underneath the head. And then we'll slowly come to rest onto the back. So our calves and lower legs are supported here by the bolster. And ideally, the knees will be slightly higher than the feet. And coming into this space, find that natural positioning of the arms. Maybe the arms are to the sides, or maybe they want to reach up overhead. Maybe they rest on the belly. So noticing here what feels right for you in this moment. And again, what may feel right in one moment may change by the next moment. So offering yourself that ability to bring yourself into ease and comfort for where you are right now. Bringing awareness back to your breath. The in-breath and out-breath. You can always bring an eye pillow or covering to the eyes, maybe a blanket, or sleeve of your sweater. The light is too bright, or you can always just turn the light off in your room, offering darkness. The mind begins to wander again here. Maybe you come back to this meditation, aware of my eyes. I breathe in, smiling to my eyes. I breathe out. Aware of my ears. I breathe in, smiling to my ears. I breathe out. Aware of my mouth, I breathe in, smiling to my mouth, I breathe out. Aware of my hands, I breathe in, smiling to my hands, I breathe out. Invite the breath to deepen here. The arms are up overhead, drawing them back down. We'll use an inhale to begin to bend the knees in towards the chest. Maybe give a gentle hug in and rock side to side, massaging the lower back, if that feels good on the low back. We'll release over to one side, again, whichever side is most comfortable, and take a moment here to pause in the effects of the pose. And as you're ready, hands find the floor, using the inhale to slowly rise up. And we'll begin to set up for our final pose, Shavasana. And as we set up for Shavasana, we want to be in our most comfortable variation of Shavasana. So maybe you want to bring bolster underneath the knees, or a rolled blanket, or maybe the blanket comes underneath the head, or maybe a folded blanket over the belly for grounding weight. So would you like to...
Can I put it up for me?
Yes, absolutely. So I just want to show real quick, before you cover your legs, what this would look like underneath the knees. So you can either offer that support under the knees and the thighs, or you can even bring a little bit more of an angle here and bringing that support there. So you can have that option to leave this here or cover yourself, bringing yourself into as much comfort as you can. And if you, again, have that eye pillow, you can cover your eyes, or maybe take a light blanket or the sleeve of your jacket or your sweater and offer a little bit of protection from light. Allowing the legs to extend long here to the outer edges of the mat. Arms can rest by the sides, maybe the palms of the hands turn up, allowing the shoulder blades to come rest onto the back. Allowing yourself to settle in here. Beginning to feel these places where the body is making contact with the earth. And feeling into those spaces. You feel into the space of the back of the head, the back of the torso, maybe the back of the arms and hands, through the legs, maybe it's the calves, the heels, and releasing into these spaces. To allow the forehead to be soft and broad. Allow the eyes to be heavy. The cheekbones heavy and sinking. The jaw releases. Tongue releases. Inviting stillness in the tongue, spaciousness in the mouth. Moving awareness to the shoulders. Awareness to the right shoulder. Right upper arm. Right elbow, right lower arm, right wrist, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the entire right hand, the entire length of the right arm, the entire length of the right arm. Awareness to the left shoulder, left upper arm, left elbow, lower arm, wrist, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the entire left hand, the entire length of the left arm, the entire length of the left arm. Feeling the left arm and the right arm at the same time. Right arm, left arm at the same time. Awareness to the torso, the space of the heart, feeling into the front of the torso, back of the torso, front and back of the torso at the same time. Awareness to the hips, right hip, right thigh, right knee, lower leg, ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, the entire right foot, the entire length of the right leg, the entire length of the right leg, awareness to the left hip, left thigh, left knee, lower leg, ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, the entire left foot, the entire left leg, the left leg and right leg at the same time, left leg and right leg at the same time, right leg and left leg at the same time. Awareness to the entire length of your body. Allowing the breath to be spacious and move freely from where it enters at the tips of the nostrils, all the way down through the toes, out through the fingertips. With each exhale, releasing to the earth, allowing the body to be heavy, feeling the earth rise up to meet you, offering support. As you rest here in Shavasana with nothing to do, nowhere to go, Accept to be here in this moment, perfect as you are. Slowly begin to deepen the breath here, bringing awareness back into the room, back into your body. Inviting gentle movements here into the fingers and toes, gradually making those movements larger, circling wrists and ankles, until you're stretching out long in all directions. Hugging knees in towards the chest. Maybe you give a gentle rock side to side, massaging the low back here if it feels good on the low back. And then we'll release over to the right side. And take a moment here to breathe into the space around you. In your time, pressing hands into the earth, using the inhale to rise back up. And we'll make our way back to a comfortable seat. Maybe you're sitting up on your bolster or blanket or block, or just finding whatever offers you that place of ease here. And hands can rest on the lap or on the knees. Tuning back into your breath, back into your body, as we feel the effects of this entire practice. And we'll bring our hands together at heart center, palms press into each other in Anjali Mudra. And I'll say a meditation prayer, and you can either repeat after me or say quietly or silently to yourself, or just listen. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. And we'll seal our practice here with the sound of Om as we take a full breath in, a full breath out, and then inhale to chant. So I thank you all for practicing with me today, to Brenda for practicing and being our model here. If you're interested in more of information about more of my classes or workshops or retreats, please feel free to check my website in the comments in the description below. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.